slimmer almost all the way around the board. 26-23, 6'3", 6'5", 184, 186, and records identical.
Frisco, Texas, are you ready for your co-main event of the evening? The following contest is presented by Visit Frisco. For the times, they are a-changin'. This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the PFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 4 wins and 2 defeats. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at an even 184 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Please welcome John Parker Didier! And his opponent across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 3 wins and 1 defeat. Standing 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing in at even 186 pounds. The fighting pride of Frisco, Texas. Presenting Bailey King. Your referee in charge of the action, Dylan Turner.
Well, you heard the pop right there.
That's what I was going to say. No question who the local guy is.
Oh, absolutely.
Frisco ready to show out for their guy. Let's see here in our co-main event.
Ooh,
big right hand from Parker.
Ooh, big.
Big shot from King. Drops
Bailey.
Parker. Hammer fist. Big finish. TKO. 19 seconds into the first round. Bailey King back in the win column.
What a shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dylan Turner calls a halt to this bout at 19 seconds in round number 1, declaring your winner by TKO, Bailey King.
With the Peak Fighting app, never miss a moment of the action. Stream live events, replay your favorite fights, and dive into exclusive content whenever and wherever you want. Download now and step into the new era of streaming, the new era of combat sports.
Tail the tape with big difference in age, 32, 23, height also 5'6", 6'5", weight almost identical, and records not shown but 11, 5, and 1, and 12 and 5.
All right, Frisco, here we go. The following PFC bout is presented by We Want Picks. It is scheduled for 3 rounds at a catch weight of 146 pounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a Muay Thai fighter with a record of 11 wins, 5 defeats, and 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 144.7 pounds. Fighting out of Brasilia, Brazil, presenting Tarisio, Romano. And his opponent across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 15 wins and 7 defeats. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 147.8 pounds. Fighting out of Frisco, Texas. This is Ty Rapaona Johnson. Your referee in charge of the action, Aladdin Martinez.
Side note before we start this up, tail of tape might have been wrong. Definitely not 6'5".
He is definitely not 6'5".
Yeah, I was a little confused by that, but hey.
So, much closer in height than we had on the tail of tape, 5'7" and 5'6". Romano and Johnson here for this bantamweight professional bout.
I love how relaxed Ty is.
Oh, man.
He's so relaxed.
Yeah, you can tell this guy's been in there.
Nice shot.
Right out the gate.
Immediately into that single leg.
Heavy hips.
To come out and shoot a shot like that, you have to be very confident in your wrestling. And the team that he has, I can tell you, they're confident.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Romano doing a good job keeping that leg framed.
Yeah, but how long can you defend from this position right here, you know?
And this is the thing. Ty Johnson's been in the PFL, so he knows what it takes to take these fights to the high level or take to deep waters.
Body shots from Romano. Anytime I hear somebody getting hit in the body like that, it makes me...
Yeah, doesn't sound good. We're much closer, so it's a little bit more of a thud.
You know, when Jakarian Larry was fighting Andrew earlier and he hit him with a body shot, that sound was...
Yeah.
It was very disturbing.
Yeah, just like up on standing, those body shots really start to add up. But Johnson just doing such a good job of maintaining that heavy pressure.
Yes.
Heavy hips.
Mike, check.
Good.
Great scramble from Romano.
Romano just stood up like he could have done it the
Check,
whole time.
Mike, check.
And Ty right back in on
But
the
the
takedown.
reshot from the breakout was very impressive. He knew exactly what he was going for, and he knows what he needs to do to win this fight.
Yeah, and we see Romano landing these little shots and throwing these punches, but eventually, probably in this round, if it stays in this position, you're going to get tired carrying this weight like this, and those shots are going to be few and far between.
Correct.
And then you'll start to see Ty Johnson move to position to try to get a finish, I would imagine.
Driving into that mount position is Ty, but Romano just so strong to get back up, back into the center. Let's see if Romano can get anything going off that initial shot.
Good shot.
Beautiful timing. Beautiful timing.
Right to the back.
And just a blanket right now.
Wow.
Ty Johnson so tight in his pressure. Climbing up, looking for those hooks, moving into that quarter mount position now. And with so much time left, 2 minutes and 15 seconds here in this first round, just grueling, trying to get up over and over again for Romano, where Johnson just gets to stay on top, lightly pepper. Again, kind of remiss of my guy's fight where the guy on bottom isn't getting hurt too bad, but he can't get anything going.
Right, and
Correct.
it's so grueling when you got a guy giving you all of his weight on top of you, punching you in the face, punching you in the body, elbowing you. It just...
And you can see Romano trying to hold on, maybe looking for maybe a possible stand-up or to just try to get it to a neutral position. And Johnson staying active enough to not get any warnings from the ref.
Yeah, Romano looking for a stand-up. He was looking at the referee just in.
But Ty Johnson's doing a good job of staying active and adding pressure. He's not just being a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Looking to throw some short elbows right there with that post, which is always a good option.
And with a little bit left over 1 minute here on our first round, Ty Johnson really putting on an extremely strong wrestling performance here.
It looked like Romano was trying to get his hips out to throw something up.
Yeah,
you know,
he thought about an arm bar,
Yeah.
but the pressure from Johnson's just too much.
This is where Johnson wants to be. So anything that, you know, Romano's going to throw, it may not be as effective as it normally would against someone else.
Yeah.
Smothering with this pressure as we get to the close of the first round.
Dominating first round by Ty Johnson.
Yeah, two extremely well-timed takedowns.
Yes.
Now you have to ask, you know, coming out into the second round, is Romano going to be aware of that? Will he be able to make a game plan change to try to keep it off the ground?
You know, I hope they can make some changes because Ty Johnson's, he's looking and feeling confident.
Yes.
I think he's going to go right back to the same thing. If it's not broke, don't break it, you know.
No, there's no reason to change what he's doing. It was like I was telling Cory on during his fight. I said, let the crowd boo, keep our pressure, keep applying that. And you're in a really strong position. And, you know, sometimes it's better to just win the position and keep in that strong position than to make the crowd excited.
Well, the crowd at the peak events get spoiled. They get spoiled because there's just so much action all the time.
Yeah, guys, if you were not joining us earlier as we moved into our main card, we had finish after finish on our earlies. We've had a little bit more back and forth battling here, but as we've seen, backing in very quickly. So the wrestler Ty Johnson really getting that first round. Let's see if Romano can come back out and make some game plan changes.
I think Ty Johnson is a little annoyed at this moment. Towards the end of the round, Romano kind of pushed him a little bit, so we'll see how that works.
Good sprawl by Romano, but
looking to lock up.
Ty Johnson is just all over him.
Yeah, relentless on his pressure on that takedown. It's almost like he knows you're gonna block the first one, and he does not care.
Beautiful wrestling, man. This guy's putting on a wrestling clinic.
Yes.
And with only 30 seconds in the second round, Romano's in a really tough spot mounted.
Yes. It looked like Ty Johnson's trying to force that arm across, like he was trying to set up a head and arm choke.
Now Ty's
hiding the feet underneath, got him laced now, and he's just going to be able to posture up exactly.
Arm bar, maybe?
Ty Johnson is a black belt under Chris Britton, so that black belt has some.
Oh, absolutely.
His pressure and his riding on top here is very well done because he's not trying to over control.
Oh, big
he's just
shot.
moving around as Romano tries to adjust. Grueling pace being set right now. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds into this round. And
it looks like Ty Johnson's trying to go for a head arm guillotine, right? I mean, a head arm triangle.
That's what I thought too earlier. It looked like he was trying to set that up earlier. Yep, here he goes, passing. Oh, no. Romano got his arm out.
I mean, he's doing a good job of just melting Romano with pressure, but lighting him up. Romano may make the mistake and give up a submission, which, you know, sometimes is what you got to do.
Sometimes that ends up happening because you're just trying to get up.
You're fighting for survival at that point.
Johnson still just relentless ground and pound here. Looking to land some volume. Referee stepping a little closer after some big elbows, taking a look. Romano holding, trying to keep that damage from happening.
Johnson talking to his corner, it looked like.
Oh, just framing him with his elbow, grinding that into the face. That is... And here just peppering down. Love to see that. Just needs to continue, and the referee might stop in. This TKO could be on the way. Holding on here, trying to keep the damage from coming down, but Ty Johnson just so strong in this position. Riding so well right now.
Romano, just no answer for the wrestling
there's
or
no
the ground
answer.
and pound. This would be the beginning of the end here.
He's just melting him at this point in time, and he's gonna make him quit.
And the body triangle. Now to attack the neck.
That's a guy you don't want on your back reaching for your neck, I promise. Nice cut on Romano's eye.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's a scuff or
like a scratch. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like now. Ty Johnson could do this for an hour.
Yeah, there's nothing dangerous to him. I even imagine that if Romano was able to get back up in the guard here, it would be
to turn how he just turned with that body triangle is very impressive.
Yeah, the core tech necessary to do that.
Yes, that was very impressive.
And with just 40 seconds left here, Romano just really have no answer for the wrestling of Ty Johnson.
Well, and what's bad going into the third is, you know, Romano is going to be tired after eating all these shots and carrying that weight. And Ty Johnson,
big elbows.
He may not make it to the third.
I think a big cut just opened up right there.
Oh, big, huge
You
cut.
can see him really covering his face now. 10 seconds left, short time,
bloody.
leaking from him now.
Oh, my goodness.
Ty Johnson having an absolute fantastic time right now.
Hey, you know, and we said it earlier, to come out to that walkout song, you know, you got to have some confidence.
Yeah, you might need a little worry because he's here to collect them all, guys.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, he is busted up over there, Romano.
Yeah, that last short elbow, Ty knew.
No, I think it's a couple of them, a couple of cuts on his face.
Declaring your winner by TKO due to a doctor stoppage, Ty Johnson.
Yeah, especially at how old is he? 21 years old.
So let's take a look. Almost identical guys here. 21, 22, 5'8", 5'11". The bigger discrepancy, really. 54 exactly, 5'3", and 3 and 1. Guys, you can hear this pop. The crowd is here for Ty Ybarra. They're going to have to keep him separated and get it going because he is ready to go. This might not be the main event of the night, but the featured prelim, it is.
All right, Frisco, as you can see, it's time to buckle up. Don't go anywhere, my friends. This PFC bout is presented by Chuckle Rum. Get it going. It is scheduled for 3 rounds in the PFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a mixed martial artist, holding a record of 5 wins and 3 defeats. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 154.8 pounds. Fighting out of Moore, Oklahoma, this is Cory, the Dundada Easter. And his opponent, across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 3 wins and 1 defeat. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighing in at 154.5 pounds. Fighting out of Lufkin, Texas, presenting Ty, the serial killer, Ybarra. Your referee in charge of the action, Marconi Nascimento.
Know that.
Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't hurt that his whole cheering crowd is
Right
behind
behind
us. This
us,
is
yes.
wild work. Security had to come by and be like, y'all need to calm down. No, we don't want him to calm down. This kind of energy is all we need. Easter, Ybarra, let's go.
Let's go.
Both guys coming to the center looking for those entries.
I mean, with the magnitude of this fight, these guys come out, and they're looking pretty good. They're setting up their shots. They're moving. They're on their bike.
Yeah, they're calm. Oh, nice takedown by Ybarra.
Slowing everything down, applying that pressure, looking to really put that weight on Easter.
Easter doesn't like those knees.
At all.
Ooh.
I think this is where the wrestling side of me comes in at right here. If Ybarra would just drive all his weight down to his hands, that takedown is there.
Now a single leg attack, but that gives Easter the guillotine attempt.
Yeah.
Easter doing a good job of keeping that leg frame.
It looks like it's pretty tight.
Yeah, because Ybarra made a face just then.
Ybarra is wincing from that pressure.
Tight, and he jumps it up.
Wow.
Cory Easter locked in on that guillotine.
Wow.
He has it tight. Can he finish him? Yup, Ybarra pushing, framing, frantically trying to push out this first round.
Easter needs to pinch his
Short
elbow.
time,
Oh.
and he's out.
Easter was just cranking on the neck. He wasn't trying to pinch the elbow to his side to really close up that gap around the neck.
And now looking underneath the leg there, kind of wrapped up, stacked here on the cage, is Easter.
That's a tough spot to be in for Easter. Ooh,
Very
good up
tough
kicks.
spot.
Good up kicks.
Ooh,
right to the
slick. Fantastic transition from Ybarra with the showboat to the crowd. Hook in, starts to pepper.
Short time left here in our first round. Ybarra really putting on a show, attacking that RNC, looking for that choke.
Easter trying to keep a hold of one of the arms.
And this is where that brown belt really comes into play, guys. Ybarra, a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, comfortable on a person's back, able to strike, fight that hand through. Easter doing a very good job of maintaining that pressure in, though, fighting that bottom hook. Ybarra looks to lock up, looking to go truck.
Oh, wow.
Looking to go truck there for a moment. Yeah, that one reversed by Easter.
Big ground and pound by Easter, and the round is over.
Oh,
That was some very, very big shots by Easter.
very last 5 seconds there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge shift. Man, I'll tell you what, the crowd is almost don't know how to react. Everyone's like, oh, hey, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That first round, frantic from both these guys. Ybarra really coming out and controlling the vast majority. I'd say 3/4 of the round. But
yeah.
Easter getting a really good exchange at the end.
Yeah, Ybarra definitely, I think definitely won that round. But at the end there, Easter landed some big shots.
I'm very, very interested to hear what advice Cory Easter is getting at the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he started this fight much like the way he fought the Burke fight, just fleeing away, circling away from the staying out of the range of Ybarra, but not actively trying to attack.
That's okay with moving,
Yes,
stand on your
but
bike, but you
attack.
gotta throw. You gotta make sure your hands are active. If not, it looks like you're running.
Yes.
Both
Ooh,
guys
right
immediately
to the
to the
center.
Cory
Nice.
Easter, big shots
Big
landed.
shots.
Hey!
And Cory's talking to him. I'm sure Ty's talking too.
Much more measured approach here for
Ooh,
Easter. Big shot.
nice hand.
Big two from Easter.
Easter starting strong this second round.
Big shot again. Left hook lands again.
Oh, now Ybarra with the body lock.
And that spin puts Easter into a bad spot. Ybarra back on the body lock.
Easter's got to fight the hands here. He's got
Easter
to fight the hands.
talking to us here in the corner, though. Nice switchback
nice.
takedown,
Yes.
though. Love that. Super basic. Crawls to the back. Looking for those hook entries, but Easter peeling and standing well.
You know,
Easter got to fight the hands here. Yes. Nice.
beautiful by
Great
Easter.
wrestling from Easter.
Oh, big hands.
Shot.
Ybarra rocking back on the cages. Ybarra.
Oh,
Back
what
fist.
a fight.
Oh, Easter
Oh,
lands
that's
huge.
He's letting his hands go, and he's having success.
Big shots there.
Wow. Easter needs to defend this takedown. Oh, he's
A
on the
guillotine
choke.
attack.
He's on the choke.
Tight
again.
guillotine.
But
Throwing
is
it up on
is it
Ybarra.
tight again?
No, he's going to slip out. His head's coming out.
Looking to peel that over. Needs to get his shoulder over the top. Bring those hands together and get that full guard. But Ybarra really just trying to survive the nonstop onslaught
I'm
that
not
is
sure
from Easter.
why Cory jumped down here. He was having great success on the feet.
hands.
Full guard, arm in guillotine, trying to crank on the
Yeah,
neck,
yeah,
but
he's-
Ybarra ripping out. Now on top with a minute to work in the second round.
You know, earlier I discredited Easter on his weight, but now he's looking hard to take down.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is.
You know, and he's getting out of stuff.
Oh,
Big shots to
big
Easter.
Up kicks. Up. He's up.
Those shots hurt. Ybarra's hurt, guys.
Yeah, he's
Easter
hurt.
looking
Is
to
hurt
ground and
right
pound,
now.
looking for the finish.
Now he's on. Ybarra trying to get on a leg here.
And we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
In this situation, you are hurt. You need to get up and wrestle up.
And it looks
Oh,
like a
no,
desperate-
big
this
shots
fight's-
here
this
coming
fight's-
in.
this fight's
Ybarra
gonna
holding
roll.
on, but Easter pounding. Big
Oh.
shots now taking the back.
30 seconds left here in our second round. Tons
What
of action
a
here.
Fight.
What
Hook in
a
now for
scrap.
Easter.
Big
Nice,
knee.
big knee. Wow.
Huge transitions to striking from Easter.
He needs to separate. Oh,
Oh.
spinning elbow, back fist.
Short elbow from Ybarra, trying to keep it going.
Oh, Ybarra's hurt. Ybarra's hurt.
Oh! Big elbow from Ybarra. He's down. Ground and pound on Easter. Can he survive? The round is over. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
What a fight!
I put the mic down. I threw my headset off and I started screaming. You have never seen a fighting championship fight like we're seeing right now.
Hey.
These amateurs are putting something on the line like you've never seen, guys. And I know that. I have had 17 fights. I have fought in Bellator, Legacy. I have been around the world, guys. You are watching something amazing from two amateurs right now.
They're amateurs.
They're amateurs.
guys. We talked about this earlier. These boys are keeping their word.
Oh, my
They
goodness.
are getting it. Hey, I got to give round 2 to Easter.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
now,
Yes.
it's 1-1.
Yes.
It's 1-1.
It's 1-1.
And
What are we doing?
I'm calling it. It ain't going
What
to
are-
the. It's not going. It's not going to a decision.
And they're still chirping at each other. That's the big thing.
Let's go.
Third round,
Let's go.
Ybarra, Easter, right here, PFC 42.
They're both aware of the power they have in
Oh,
their
yeah.
hands right
Instant
now.
respect coming out in that third round.
Oh,
Nice switch through two there for
yeah.
Easter. Easter just a little smoother on his feet.
yeah. He's got really slick movement. None of us want to say anything. We're waiting for something to happen.
We're anticipating, man.
Yeah. Oh, big
Big
hooks.
hooks.
And you're starting to see that wear on Ybarra's face, little blood coming from the nose.
If Cory would get active, he could finish this fight. Ybarra looks tired and he looks hurt.
I think Cory Easter has a little more power than what Ybarra thought. And he might be feeling that right about now.
Both these guys in incredible shape. Oh, good. The way Cory pivots back and throws the two, makes his lead hand, his rear hand, and throws the two is beautiful.
Really finding a rhythm here is Easter.
Yeah, he's.
Slips both punches, but
Big takedown from Ybarra.
1 minute and 38 seconds left here in our final round. Almost halfway through, almost 50-50, but the big takedown from Ybarra.
So you have 90 seconds of Cory controlling it on the feet, and if it stays here, somebody lost a mouthpiece.
And the thing about it, both of these guys are chirping, right? They're still chirping at each other. They're over here talking to Johnny. They're in there having fun.
Having a blast.
Giving the fans what we want. Giving the fans what they deserve.
You can see the referee there picks the mouthpiece up. He will wait and see if there's an action moment break that he can put that in, but a lot going on here.
I don't think there's going to be a break.
I don't think so either. Ybarra
On the back here.
putting that triangle in,
Yeah.
locking it up, really high level. You can see the referee stopping for a moment, putting the mouthpiece back in, as we said. Short time left here in this fight. Ybarra on the back of Cory Easter. Can he find a finish or look for damage? Threatening that RNC.
Cory doing a
Has
good
it
job.
across the shoulder there, though. Very tight.
Oh,
Locks
that-
it in.
that is
Looking
very
for the
tight.
triangle finish,
Oh,
but
good defense
can he
by-
lace it off? Cory Easter fighting the hand.
Good defense by Easter. Fighting the hands well.
Feeding back and forth, short time now, 25 seconds left. Anyone's fight in this moment.
Oh, that's
Locks
deep.
it up tight.
That's deep.
It is deep.
That is
Ybarra
deep.
fighting it, looking for the finish.
finish?
Easter fighting the hand.
Cory Easter
He's
fighting.
Gonna go to sleep. He's going to go to sleep.
10 seconds left.
He's going to go to sleep, guys. There's too much time.
Short time. Can he finish? Can he survive? Ybarra cranking, but not quite finding it. And Ybarra and Easter comes to an end. Cory Easter surviving the non-slop assault.
What a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we call peak fighting the new era of combat sports. Give it up for these athletes one time. Wow. An absolute battle. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. The judges' scores are as follows: 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28. All for your winner by way of unanimous decision. Fighting out of the red corner, Ty, the serial killer, Ybarra. Oklahoma, are you ready for more championship MMA? I hope you're ready if you're watching at home, because this bout is scheduled for 5 rounds and is for the PFC Amateur Lightweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 4 wins and 2 defeats. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Norman, Oklahoma, presenting Mohammad Alshamsi. And his opponent, across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner, he is a freestyle fighter holding a record of 3 wins and 2 defeats. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 154.6 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, this is Abbas, the Boss, Mounshed. Your referee in charge of the action, Xavier McMack.
Fighters, we went over the rules backstage. Fight hard, represent yourself well, show this crowd you came here to win the belt. Touch gloves if you'd like, go back to your corner.
No lack of intensity there.
This is going to be good.
Now, we haven't had a championship match make it the way yet.
Nope.
Immediately into a strong pressing takedown, looking for that hip toss, but just very strong judo there, rolling through on it exactly as you need to be.
Oh, and an inverted triangle.
Yeah, not quite over the top though. Now it's a little bit more locked in. This is a dangerous position early when there's not a lot of sweat.
Yeah, not a lot of slipping going on.
That reverse triangle is on.
And then he's gonna fight for this Kimura on this side over here.
Yeah, I would keep rocking that.
Yeah.
You can see Mounshed's already having to put his hand there to kind of defend that triangle. Stepping over. Oh, but he's got that arm and he's cranking that Kimura. And Alshamsi might be able to get the finish here by cranking on that Kimura, trying to look for that finish. Driving it, but Mounshed doing a good job of trying to step over, but now ripping it up behind. You can see that hand, using it as a sweep. And Smart to give up the position there. Smart to give up the position. Holding that hand there, and that triangle's still hurting.
Well, I think he was wanting to step over, but I think he was tightening the triangle up as he was trying to step over to relieve the pressure off the arm.
Now, I feel like this is where he needs to be. Yes, yes. Mounshed goes right for that arm and guillotine.
Crazy grappling going on.
Yeah, both these guys' grappling pedigree's pretty high, so not surprised at all. The back giving up, the great opposite side hook there, but Alshamsi doing a good job of getting to that reset position.
Good takedown defense from Alshamsi, trying to work his way around to the back.
Now, this is where Mounshed's going to be in trouble here. If he can peel that hand and get that crossface off, he could expose the back and the neck. If nothing else, just for some hammer strikes or short time left here in our first round. Lots of action. Look like he's almost got that slice in a weird way.
I can't see. He's got almost like his crucifix type position.
Yeah, isolating that arm.
Yeah.
Doing a really good job of using wrist control on the opposite side. No, he got warned for the back of the head there. I saw that one.
This is where I feel like the pros, they can find the angles to land the shots in these tight positions like this, you know.
Well, and also being able to use those grounded elbows can make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's true too, yeah.
So a really strong end of the first round for Alshamsi. Mounshed comes out strong, gets the takedown, wins some grappling exchanges, but I think the damage is going to go to half to Alshamsi. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Mounshed needs to be very careful because he did not throw a strike.
No,
so he just bowled forward.
And the shots were kind of sloppy. He just kind of went forward. I didn't feel like he was close enough to really take them shots. He was
looked strong.
Very strong.
Looked strong.
Very strong.
Interesting to see what the changes in the corner will be.
He needs to try and use a jab and get himself a little bit closer before he, or big overhand or something to close that distance a little bit before he tries to make that shot.
Yeah, if I'm Alshamsi, I am circling.
Yeah.
Olaying, if you will.
I mean, Alshamsi did fine with the grappling exchanges. He made this, come on.
I say, though, both guys looking fresh coming out into the second round. None the worse to wear.
Big shot from Mounshed, drops Alshamsi, and it is over. TKO immediately at the beginning of the second round.
Wow, what power from Abbas.
Oh my goodness. And back to my previous statement, not a shot thrown, but when he threw a shot, oh my gosh.
And I didn't even see it, I just heard it and looked up and Alshamsi was falling.
Alshamsi thought a shot was coming and got caught with a cross overhand.
Man.
Big. Was almost sprawling into the shot.
Wow.
Be very interested to see if we get a replay there.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, that was huge. I just let go of Chris's arm. I just realized I was gripping his arm. Holy
what
smokes.
A right hand. Was that it? It was a right hand, right?
I believe so. It happened so quick, but I believe it was a level change.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was a left hook. A left hook as he slid in. And then the ground and pound to finish. I want to see it again. Oh yeah, he kind of lowered his head like he was gonna shoot, and Alshamsi raised the knee, thinking he was gonna shoot, and the left hook came over the top and cracked him. Alshamsi's up on the stool. He looks okay. He's talking to his corner. What a left hook from Abbas, the boss Mounshed. After the heavy grappling exchanges, Abbas lands a big shot. We'll send it into Chad to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, Referee Xavier McNack calls a halt to this bout at 8 seconds in round number 2, declaring your winner by knockout and new PFC Amateur Lightweight Champion, Abbas, the Boss, Mounshed.
With the Peak Fighting app, never miss a moment of the action. Stream live events, replay your favorite fights, and dive into exclusive content whenever and wherever you want. Download now and step into the new era of streaming, the new era of combat sports.
I'm going to be the best in the world, and you're watching it right now. Pay attention. Don't ever stop watching me.
Very dynamic, very hard. About 176.5. Huge knockout went in his first fight.
Oh my goodness! Knockout!
Well, it's safe to say our star has been born.
The serial killer, Ybarra, a fan favorite here in the Peak Fighting Cage. Ybarra always brings the action and the online presence.
Fighting out of Lufkin, Texas, presenting the serial killer, Ybarra.
Fantastic transition from Ybarra with the showboat to the crowd. Oh! Big elbow from Ybarra! He's down! Ground and pound on Easter! Can he survive? The round is over! Oh my goodness! Big takedown from Ybarra.
By way of unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, the serial killer, Ybarra.
You hear that? You rumble, that's all day, baby! I need that bell, Johnny! You see this? Back down!
Texas, presenting Brigitte, Miss America Garcia.
Lane's got to get off this
Big
feet.
shots.
She's hurt.
Lane is hurt and she's gonna.
She's out on her
It
feet.
is over! The referee steps in and makes that call.
Fighting out of Longview, Texas, by way of Visalia, California, presenting Jacqueline Lulu Flores.
Drop shot and knocked out.
Beautiful right hand.
Fleury looking for the finish.
And choking.
Locks it in and
There's the tap. Wow.
RNC round 1.
A fight.
Woo!
Beautiful performance by Lulu.
Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 154.8 pounds. Fighting out of Moore, Oklahoma. This is Cory, the Nutnada Eastern.
It's in deep, and he gets the tap. Triangle choke, round 2.
He was right.
Cory Eastern. Great wrestling from Eastern. Oh! Big hands! Ybarra rocked it back! Those shots hurt. Ybarra's hurt, guys. Eastern looking to ground and pound.
I got to give the people what they want. They want finishes, not decision wins. So, welcome to the Sugar Dawn Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Fighting out of Mansfield, Texas. This is Extreme Caleb Ybarra.
Oh! Big shot! And it's over! Ebal! Huge knockout!
Big weight cuts leave you open for those knockouts.
Get the finish.
Oh, there it is! Ebal with the last moment tap! You can't grab up! I got hands, I got chokes, baby!
Oh, it's going to be close. Impressive from Moodley.
Moodley is unconscious, guys.
He's out. He's out.
Guys, Moodley is out.
He's out.
Moodley's out.
Fight's over.
2 first round submissions, baby. Not just a striker. 2 days notice.
This is what we do, baby. Our team better than your team.
Official PFC apparel today and join the Peak Nation. We have a variety of t-shirts for men, women, and kids.
to PFC 45, King vs. Bowman. Live from the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, Peak Fighting Championships is excited to bring you the new era of combat sports. My name is Craig Campbell, and joining me as always, Chris Mullins. Guys, we have got a stacked card for PFC 45. Our promoter, Johnny, has spared no expense to get this card absolutely incredible from top to bottom. Guys, make sure you're checking out those early prelims, those debuts, those new guys. Our YouTube is always popping. And then we've got our prelim card coming into our first bout. Saeed Abi Issa taking on Matthew Martinez in a featherweight bout. We have Nicolas Torres versus Ali Abukayas in a light heavyweight bout. And in our first championship bout on our prelims, we have Cory Easter taking on Caleb Ebel for the lightweight AMI strap. First one we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
How are we looking on this one, Chris?
That's going to be a good one. You know, last time Easter fought in this building, it was crazy. The energy was wild. And, man, first time I saw Ebel fight was my very first show for Peak in Alexandria, Louisiana, and he took it on short notice. He came in and he beat a really tough game opponent. And he looks better in shape, you know, at the weigh-ins yesterday. His body looked great. He looked like he's ready to go.
Had a fight camp this time.
Had a fight camp. Get to see him with a fight camp. I'm looking forward to that, yes.
Man, and, you know, Cory Easter, always a fan favorite. Sugar Don likes to come out, put a show. Hair's going to be on point. Walkout's going to be on point. Excited for that one. And then moving into another championship bout, we have Jacqueline Flores taking on Brigitte Garcia in our amateur women's flyweight championship. Two undefeated ladies. Two nationally ranked amateur wrestlers.
Are we
going to be slanging and banging? What do we got for this one?
I don't know what we're going to do for this one, man. We've seen Garcia fight a couple of times and not really use a whole lot of wrestling. I mean, I've seen her throw hands, and she looks like she can really get busy. So I'm excited to see in there with another high-level wrestler to see what she chooses to do there. You know?
Absolutely. It's always interesting to see if the game nullifies each other or if somebody goes, no, I'm going to show you I'm the better wrestler.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Moving into our pro division, we have one of my guys, Jacorian Larry, taking in, I apologize already, sir. I've asked your name many times, but I'm going to go for it. Olasquin Durajaye. We've got Chad on this side helping us out on this. Very, very dynamic fighter. Checking out some of his amateur bouts. This is his pro debut, so a tough shot coming in against the 1-1 Larry. But super dynamic kickboxer. He's got a really great camp behind him at Fortis, so a very interesting bout. And then Brian Mendoza in a flyweight bout against Aiden Lamas. Now, moving into our main card, we have got a pro debut for our former featherweight champion, Jacorian Juice Walker, taking on another peak vet who's 1-0, Rod Moore.
Yes,
Think about this one.
Man, this is going to be a good one. You know, Rod Moore, he riding a 5-fight winning streak coming in. It's a tough debut for Jacorian Walker. So that's going to be a high-level fight. I think we're going to see a pro debut fight that looks more like guys that have been in there for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Moving into the next bout, our newcomer, but a vet of his own right, Carlton Little, coming on to take the very tough and up-and-coming David Wright. That's going to be a light heavyweight bout. And then we have Abbas Mounshed making his pro debut against Jackson Enekwoma in a lightweight bout. Now, grappler, striker, big height difference here. I suspect we're going to see a little bit of grappling out of Mounshed, but will Jackson be able to keep that distance and put hands on him?
You know, it's going to be good to see. I'm curious, like we were talking earlier, to see if Abbas comes out and gets started a little sooner than he did in his last fight.
Yeah,
you know, we saw
he had
him
to make some adjustments.
Yeah, his last fight, he ended the first round in a real tough position, and then came out and just landed a major left hook, I believe it was, to end that fight early in the second round. So curious to see if he can get going early on. You don't want to let these guys jump on you in round one without without giving them something to keep them at bay. So I'm curious to see if he makes those adjustments and see if he can get started a little sooner.
Absolutely. And then probably the biggest pro debut peak fighting has had. Might have had some other big ones, but the fan favorite, Ty the Serial Killer Ybarra, making his professional debut against a very tough Jackson Parks in a lightweight bout.
Yes. Man, it's going to be a good one. You know, Ty, he always comes out. He always puts on a show. The crowd goes crazy. You know, I mean, it's just...
And he puts on a show in the fight as well, so you know it's going to be super dynamic.
And the last time he was in this building against another guy on this card, you know, and that fight was crazy. So always fun when Ty's in the cage, whether it's grappling or whether it's fighting or whatever it is. It's always fun when he's in there.
Then we have my favorite newcomer to the peak cage, coming off of a very dominant finish, Ty Johnson. Is going to be in a catchweight bout against the undefeated Yoel Borges in a, I believe, 160. Was that 159?
I think so. And, you know, Ty, his last fight, he just dominated on the ground. He could have fought for an hour. I think I even said it, you know, on the broadcast. I mean, he just was dominant on the ground. So curious.
He took that on short notice. Looked in noticeably better shape.
Yes, did.
At weigh-ins yesterday.
He did, yeah. So curious to see if he comes out and does the same thing. You know, he's a veteran. It's nothing for him to get in there. So
but the unknown coming from Brazil and undefeated, Borges looking to put a roadblock in that second fight. And our only professional championship of the night is between the ladies, always putting on the show. Abriel Aguiano taking on Thayane Souza in a flyweight championship bout.
You know, the ladies for peak, they always come in and throw down. I mean, and I expect nothing different from this one, especially for the championship fight. I'm looking forward to see these two ladies go at it.
And absolutely super active is Abriel. So coming in right after, she's fought a month ago. She's got another fight, a fighter's fighter. She was saying yesterday at the weigh-in, she's the only way to learn how to fight better.
Keep fighting.
Hey. So moving into our main event of the evening, we have Joel Bauman, perennial vet, Bellator vet, lots of fights, coming out of Jackson Wink, training with somebody we'll mention here in a moment, versus Bailey King. Bailey King, no stranger to the peak fighting cage, one of the fan favorites, amateur champion, professional, really doing a good job of, you know, taking his losses, learning from them. Has gone and spent some time in Thailand to try to get his skill sets up. We all got to watch that adventure on Instagram, which was fun. And he is now back to prove that he's the king of the PFC cage.
Yeah, and he's got a tough task in front of him in Joel Bauman. I mean, this guy wrestled at the University of Minnesota, which is where our Olympic champion wrestles out of now. You know,
high pedigree.
Multiple fights, veteran, training with a guy, the only guy that beat Bailey King early on in his career. So
yes, exactly.
It's going to be an interesting fight. We'd like to see if Bailey can nullify that wrestling and use the striking that he picked up over in Thailand.
Coming up next, Devon Britton versus Lestat Pleasant.
PFC 45, Devon Britton, a 135-pound debut 0-0 striker out of Dallas, Texas, fighting out of Gym Iron Bar, trainer's coach Derek. And guys, welcome to PFC 45. This is our first fight of the night. We are excited to bring you this bantamweight matchup. 2 debuts making their way to the big cage for the first time. Joining me, Chris Mullins, and guys you didn't know, special guest. The champ is here. Yeah. The champ is here. Yes, Xavier Franklin. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Woo, ready for this night. How you feeling next to this? Is a little different, huh?
It's a little different. It's a little bit scary than a fight.
Xavier said, let me punch somebody. Well, we're super excited to have you here. It's going to be a great night of fights, and 2 debuts coming in here. Our first guy coming out of Iron Bar Gym, and he is excited to make his debut here. Peak said just appreciative of the opportunity, really excited to fight. So coming out here to the cage first, Devon Munyon Britton.
Yeah, you know, always good to see what the new debut guys, what the young guys bring to the table, and how, you know, how the sport is always growing and constantly changing. Got a tough task in front of him with Lestat Pleasant.
PFC, you never know. Is this going to be the next guy that gets the shot? Yep. You know what I mean? He's got the platform. Let's see if he's got the skills and abilities to back it up. One thing of note, always interesting, you know, when you have debuts, I always say sometimes they play with you on the info sheet. Yep. Sometimes they're super honest on the info sheet. It says walking around at 138. Fighting at 135 will be interesting to see if he's got the size or if, you know, him and his opponent are mismatched in that regard. Making his way to the cage, Lestat Money Pleasant, a 135-pound 2-2 mixed martial artist fighting out of Frisco, Texas, by way of New Orleans, Louisiana, out of Next Generation MMA, coaches Chris Brennan. And guys, this is his peak debut, but 2-2 as an amateur fighter. Putting down thoughts on your opponent. He suck. So, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Interesting to see always how you'll have a guy with experience taking on somebody with no experience.
And Pleasant coming from a good camp, you know, Next Generation, hometown guys, you know, right here in Frisco. I think actually just like right up the street.
Yeah, very close, very close. Has a gym here in Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure from that camp there's a lot of wrestlers over there. There's a lot of wrestlers and jits guys, so I'm very interested to see. I'm pretty sure I watched Pleasant fight before at another show like XKO, and I'm don't remember if he's a striker or a wrestler, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna come to wrestle.
Yeah.
Well, you know, coming out of Britton.
Yeah, they're straightforward.
Very, very strong.
Very good.
Man, I trained with them guys back in the day when they were young kids. Even the youngest one, Tyler.
Yes.
He was like, I don't know, 12 or 13. They folded me up back then.
I remember both of them, Lucas and his brother. I remember when Tyler was small, like young. I was like, whoa. Now I see him now, I'm like, bro, he's massive.
Now the little brother's the big brother.
The big brother,
yeah.
exactly.
So coming into the cage at 2-2, looking to move past that 500 mark. And taking a tail of the tape, we have an age gap there, 28 and 22, height 5'10 and 5'5", another gap, and our weight almost identical, 134.8, 135.6, debut and 2-2.
Texas, are you ready for your first bout of the evening? That's what I'm talking about. This bout is presented by Visit Frisco, the city that plays. It is scheduled for 3 rounds in the PFC Amateur Bantamweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner and making his debut, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 134.8 pounds. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, this is Devon Britton! And his opponent across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist holding a record of 2 wins and 2 defeats. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in at 135.6 pounds. Fighting out of Frisco, Texas, by way of New Orleans, Louisiana, this is Lestat Stadimane Pleasant. Your referee in charge, Grant Gunderson.
And we are off for our first bout of PFC 45. And immediately Britton looking for that jab.
Yeah, trying to keep it, trying to be a little rangy, trying to keep it at distance. But, you know, with Pleasant being the shorter guy, his arms look super long.
Very long.
Cross leads here, so we got a right hand and a left hand.
Yep.
For a debut guy, he looks pretty, Britton looks pretty composed.
Drops for that ankle pick we just talked about today. Crazy for a debut.
Wow.
Like how calm Pleasant looks, though. Don't like how low his hands are, but very calm.
Yeah.
Both guys look like they've been in there before, actually, right now.
I think that just goes to show the evolution of MMA and the new young guys.
Yes.
And how they're just evolving and they're watching their favorite fighters just be calm and composed, and it's helping them.
Never ceases to amaze me the level of 0-0 or 2-2 guys we see in the peak fighting cage. Nice crash forward there. I like how Britton has his hands up. Staying defensively sound.
He's stabbing that jab pretty good, but he's kind of dragging it on the way back.
Nice knee from Britton.
Nice.
Excuse me, that was a knee from
Pleasant.
Another one, another
nice
big one,
knee.
but gets tripped
What a
for his
takedown.
pleasure, although in a triangle attack here, if he can get that leg up, already lacing into the triangle there.
Yep.
So he's got the diamond guard. Pleasant doing a very good job of recovering into an attacking position there. Britton on top, though, and able to land some strikes.
And he needs to be careful. He needs to
Yep,
get his
watch,
posture
he's
up.
going for an armbar.
Circle out. He's got that arm bar looking to finish. He's circling around. Back up. Some great defense, but that is tight, and it is over.
Wow.
First round arm bar.
Wow.
Lestat Pleasant.
That was that jiu-jitsu pedigree we talked about with Next Generation and Chris Brennan and those guys over there. He transitioned from triangle to armbar
to armbar
again and just got the finish.
Wow.
What a performance by Lestat Pleasant. And you know, even in defeat, Britton came out showing he belongs in there. You know, he he looked calm. He looked composed.
Yeah, he looked really well and collected. I feel like he knew what was happening, but then again, it's his debut, so, you know, those emotions, those nerves, you don't know what was going through his mind whenever he was getting transitioned from the armbar to the triangle back to another armbar again.
And the bright lights of peak fighting cage too, you know, it's different. And inside this arena is different. We talked about it earlier, you know. Great performance by Lestat Pleasant getting the finish.
That was a great performance.
Early in round 1. Great jiu-jitsu transitions. Expect nothing less from Next Generation. I think they got a few guys on the card tonight too, so we're liable to see more and more of that.
We're probably going to see more submissions then.
Looks like Lestat Pleasant barely broke a sweat in there.
Yeah, he does. I don't even know if he is sweating, to be honest. Wow, the amateur scene is getting really good.
We'll send it into Chad to make it official.
All right, fight fans. Referee Grant Gunderson calls a halt to this bout at 2 minutes, 12 seconds in round number 1, declaring your winner by tap out due to an armbar. Lestat Study Money Pleasant.
Come on in. Come on in, take this moment. An incredible way to start off PFC 45. Came out, little measured, took your time. Looked like he had a big takedown. Take us through those transitions. Very high level, sir.
Yeah, I was just trying to go for the knee, you know what I'm saying? Then he took me down, but, you know, I've been covering, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I know I do. I'm good at jiu-jitsu and shit, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's the only thing you're good at, it was pretty incredible. Nice switch off armbar triangle and then followed for the switch armbar. So it wasn't just a regular armbar. You had to follow that around. Taking us through that, is that how you saw the fight going?
Nah, I wanted to knock him out. I ain't gonna lie. I did want to stay up and then knock that nigga out, but I couldn't. You know, I didn't know he was going to go for the takedown, so I thought that was going to be my thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, an incredible performance, amazing set for the night. Anybody you'd like to thank?
I just want to thank God and my team, my family, yes.
Hey, let's give it up for a winner of our first fight tonight, Lestat Pleasant.
Transitions to get to that finish. There's a good side kick. Push Britton back up against the fence. Landed some good knees. And then it was Britton, I believe, that caught the knee and went to the takedown, and then he immediately transitioned right into doing jiu-jitsu and had the arm.
So had a little moment there with Chris Brennan. He said, I didn't even know he knew that transition. So Lestat said, even in there, he said, I surprised myself. But that goes to show what training with high-level guys does and what, you know, muscle memory really means, right? Yeah. He didn't have to think about it. He knew, and he switched it. Wow. That was very high level. It was actually very high level for a 2-2 guy there. So great win, great start to the night. Unfortunate for Devon Britton, but was looking good, got caught with some technical work, and hopefully we'll see him back in the cage soon.
Yes, yeah, good performance from Lestat Pleasant. And Britton making his debut under the peak cage, it's always difficult.
It's a big cage. So. And you know what? The crowd's not filled all the way in right now. There's still a lot of people in here for an AMI fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and we are going to get ready for our next bout between Zack Horton and Luis Bustos.
Coming up next, Zack Horton versus Luis Bustos.
way to the cage, Crimson Zack Horton, a 135 1-4 mixed martial artist fighting out of Waco, Texas, out of Blitz MMA, trainers Jake Brennan, Zach Brennan, and Chris Brennan. This is a peak vet. His last fight coming as a TKO loss, so looking to get back into the win column is Zack Horton. Now, this is a rematch. So Zach, his thoughts on his opponent, saying, I don't think he's changed from the first time, but I'll treat him as if he is perfect.
Also, the rematch was in the peak cage as well. I mean, the original fight was in the peak cage as well back in 2022. So,
wow. The amateur rematch is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's funny because when somebody says, I don't think he's changed from the first time he fought, that I think that's a mistake to think. I think you should never think that.
Yeah.
You know, if he hasn't changed, why is he taking this fight? But that said, you know, coming in with a elite corner and trying to get back into the win column is Zack Horton.
Yeah, I think especially with fighting, even just not even a rematch, just a regular fight, when you're fighting somebody, when you're watching tape and then when you fight them, they're not going to be the same person. No. So fighting the same person, he's going to be the same fighter.
Yeah.
He's different person every time.
If you're fighting a guy that's got 100 fights, he's probably going to be like how he was his previous fight.
Exactly.
You know? But when you got young guys and guys only have 4, 5, 6 fights, I mean, you would hope that they're continuing to grow and change.
Exactly.
From fight to fight, you know.
Especially coming from next gen, you know, as coaches making those adjustments for sure.
Absolutely.
So Zack Horton making his entry.
I get the bag like a grocery. I'm on my grind like I'm supposed to be. And I do not care if you notice me. Boxes. I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted. This passion is never exhausted.
And making his way to the cage, Luis Bustos, a 135-pound striker and grappler. 3-3 mixed martial artist out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, out of American Top Team, Gilani Galepi. I always feel like I mess his name up. Come on, I know you know that better.
Man, I don't know it.
Oh, you're Oklahoma guy. You got to call me out on those things. All things said, this is a perennial peak vet. This will actually be his 7th fight in the PFC cage. Has had all his fights there in PFC, and his last fight was a decision win at PFC 43.
Yeah, it's interesting. He actually fought one of my teammates in Oklahoma. Yeah, whenever I fought Isaiah Gutierrez, whenever I fought him, before I went to the Contender, my teammate fought earlier on the prelims. He fought him.
And Bustos a really well-rounded fighter. You expect that coming out of American Top Team. A strong wrestling base and boxing base to be expected. But it will be interesting. He says he's excited for the rematch, so we'll see how these guys get back into it.
That's his last fight. He won his last fight, right? Is that what you said?
Correct.
He's coming off a win?
Yes.
I thought so.
A decision win at PFC 43.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty put together, pretty well-rounded, pretty heavy-handed as well.
Yes.
Whenever him and my teammate fought, he was cracking my teammate with some shots.
I think he grinded out a decision in his last fight, if I'm remembering right. I think he used his wrestling and really grinded out a decision.
He fought
win.
Douglas.
Okay.
Yep, fighting at a war room, I remember. Kind of just grinded him out, used that wrestling.
Yep.
And taking a tail of the tape, we see age very similar, 25-26, height identical, 5'7", weight almost identical, 135. And record 1-4, 3-3.
All right, Frisco, here we go. Are you ready for some more peak fighting? Let me hear you one time. This bout is presented by Real Roofing and Construction, building stronger homes and communities. It is scheduled for 3 rounds in the PFC Amateur Bantamweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a mixed martial artist in his 6th bout, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing in at 135 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Waco, Texas, this is Crimson Zack Horton. And his opponent, Across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist as well, holding a record of 3 wins and 3 defeats. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing in at an even 136 pounds. Fighting out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Presenting Luis Bustos. Your referee in charge, Joseph Timlin.
Zack Horton taking on Luis Bustos in our second bout of the night in an amateur bantamweight fight. And always a reminder, PFC does allow knees and elbows for amateurs. Huge shot from Horton right off the bell into a nice takedown, but guillotine attack there from Bustos.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. Zack did the job of that. That was crazy work.
Yeah. Wow. Big right hand early.
Big right hand. Trying to plex that, but doesn't have the guard and doesn't have the right side there. So Horton doing a good job, just staying heavy, trying to peel that hand, stay calm, looking. That's a nice reach over there.
That's nice.
And solidifies himself there on top position is Horton.
I don't know who's bleeding. I don't know if it's Luis or Zack.
Yeah, it's definitely Luis.
Luis from that right hand, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
That was classic southpaw orthodox. The 2 lands right down the middle.
Yep.
Now, Bustos doing a good job of not staying flat and forcing Horton to continue pressuring, not allowing any damage or significant attacks to occur.
If I'm Horton, I'd be thinking about getting up and throwing that right hand again.
Exactly. I think Luis is just holding to try to recover. I don't know if he looks like he's recovered, but
yeah.
You never know.
When you get caught cold like that, that's rough.
Exactly.
And already 1 minute and 20 seconds down, almost halfway through this round, and Horton really controlling everything so far.
Is that a cut on Bustos' nose?
Yeah, it looks like it's just a cut on the nose there.
Yeah, like you said, when it's cold and you get caught with a shot like that, easy to get cut quick, too.
Yeah.
You see Horton starting to throw little ground and pound. As I was saying before, Horton caught that amazing cross. Elbows and knees to the head are legal for the amateurs in PFC in Texas, so you will see the full range of MMA, both our amateurs and pros. Always interesting to see if the amateurs use those elbows, though.
Right.
Something you're not really practicing a lot. Although I do believe a lot of the guys fighting for peak are starting to really understand, hey, I need to be implementing these now and not waiting. Lots of cage control time here. Really, Bustos possibly just trying to hold on and maybe get to the next round, really. It doesn't look like very much offense here.
No, and Horton's in his corner now listening to his corner real well. Big shot.
Ooh.
Just misses with that. And with a little bit, about 30 seconds left here in our first round, Zack Horton really controlling every aspect of this fight so far.
Yeah, like you said earlier, I think Bustos is just trying to, stay in the guard, get out of the round, clear his head for the cobwebs, get back to his stool.
He's doing Bustos from the bottom is doing a decent job of nullifying the attacks. So, well, there's
big slam there. Horton picking him up. Another, shake him through, big ground and pound. Gets a cross off there before the bell, and really all Zack Horton. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You could almost argue a 10-8 there.
Yeah, 10-8.
Because he really didn't do anything from his back. He was just really trying to hold on.
You can see that cut.
I think he has 2.
Bleeding a little bit. Looks like the bridge on the side of the nose there. You'll see a cut. Yeah, side, so shouldn't be really an issue within the fighting. Just a pain, and it can be difficult, especially if you are a grappler. When you've got that blood going, it's like an oil slick. It's hard to hold on to a guy.
Yeah.
Add a little Vaseline in.
Yeah.
Zack Horton looking really good right now.
Yeah,
like
looks
his
really
breath
composed.
control.
He looked good, and Bustos did a pretty good job of nullifying a lot of the attacks on the ground, with the exception of the 2 big slams there at the end and then the big right hand. Horton really wasn't able to hurt him a whole lot whenever they were down on the ground
and
like
looking
that.
over into Bustos' corner, his coach not happy with him. Really had some choice words for him. So see if he comes out here and can make some adjustments. And our second round is underway. Zack Horton right back into it, catches him again, big takedown. Zack Horton is imposing his will. same position. And now Bustos finds himself in a really rough spot. Now he has to be active.
Yes, you got to be active.
He's going to need to get very active here on the bottom. And, you know, Bustos striking there from the bottom, but just not really effective, especially earlier in the match.
No, especially after the last round, you would think in his head, he's like, you know what, I need to get up and actually try to strike.
Yeah, or do something, you know, something different. He needs to attack from down here, but these little rabbit punches that are just Zack Horton's not worried about these things at all.
And with a minute gone already in our second round, Horton finds himself in the same position. Big, strong ground and pound
He's
there.
got his arm trap.
Nice. Very nice there from Horton. You can hear Chris Brennan calling for the elbow, and Zack Horton and listening to his coach. Great short elbow there. Now he has to be careful. There's that pendulum flower. Now he reaches under though. That's why that's dangerous.
Yes.
I don't like my MMA guys doing that one. For that exact reason.
So they can always trap it and then just punch off that side.
Oh, good ground and pound from Horton.
Horton seems pretty content to just sit here in the guard and land the big shots, especially with Bustos not really actively trying to get up or anything. You know, I mean, he's trying to fish the hand underneath, maybe try to go for a sweep, but like you were saying, you know, you reach that hand under there and get it trapped. And
he's going for it again.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. Horton's felt it. He understands what he's trying to do from there. Now, when Horton grabs back behind both hands there, that's when you go for an armbar. That's when you go for the attempt. But Horton doing a good job of just changing up what he's doing.
Yeah, Horton looks really good here in the ground and pound. He looks controlled, not worried about anything Bustos is trying to do.
And with only 35 seconds left here in our second round, another dominant round from Zack Horton.
Yeah, Bustos is going to have to come out in the next round. And
I love the head pressure from Horton, just keeping the top of his head right there over the top of the head. Great short elbow again.
Yeah, I think Bustos should just open his guard, get his feet on the hips, push off, try to get a stand up.
Again, 10 seconds left, goes for a couple more slams. Big energy, big slams there at the end of the round.
Little mood lighting for the guys in there.
Yeah, little mood lighting. And another dominant round for Zack Horton. So you go back into the corner. You're Luis Bustos, Xavier Franklin. What are you telling him, man? What are you saying? What does he need to do to come out?
I'm telling him, get off your back, stay on the feet, keep it on the feet. I don't know. I mean, I feel like his coach is telling him exactly what I'm saying, but I don't know if Bustos is in there. I think that right hand early,
that first one,
it caught him. I think it just, his head, he's not sure what's going on, so I think he's kind of in autopilot right now, honestly.
Yeah, he just, like in that second round, he kind of just walked out there and let Zack Horton throw the right hand and take him right down.
What I was going to say is, you know, especially for me, you know, as a wrestler, if my guy's getting out wrestled, I'm going to tell him, don't engage in ring. We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Give me 45 seconds and run away from this dude. Let him come, because he's going to try to shoot.
Exactly.
Give him something to think about before that.
We'll see if Bustos just comes right back to the center line, or if he moves and tries to get some striking going. So third round here, Bustos and Horton. And right back to the middle again. Eats another one. Nice left there from Bustos, though. Catches Horton.
What a shot. There's a shot. Yep.
Good take.
Back down again.
Good
Great
exchange.
takedown.
I wanted to see more exchanging on the feet. That was nice.
That was nice.
From both guys, you know. And Horton in a half guard position here is in a prime position to do some damage. Oh, I didn't see that he was hitting.
Yeah, he does have a Kimura laced.
I didn't see that.
It's going to be very hard to finish with Bustos is back on the cage.
Yeah, he's using the cage to block it, which is nice. And then stepped over the head.
Yep.
Listening to his coach very well in the corner is Horton, even though he's across the cage right now. And here's where, I just feel like Bustos is just trying to survive. There needs to be more sense of urgency. You know, we don't have much time here. We're 2 rounds down and we're 2 minutes left. Big shots to the ribs here.
That was a good right hand, good shot.
Yeah, Bustos needs to use this underhook and try to get back to his feet, get his left knee up under him and stand up. But now Horton's locking the hands and going to drag him just like that.
Yeah, Horton landed some shoulders earlier on the cage just now. That's pretty innovative. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I will give Bustos this. He has made it so, he's not taking huge damage. He's getting hit. He's getting, clipped here, but not found himself in a lot of danger. And, sometimes I feel like that could be a problem as well. You don't have that sense of urgency because you're not hurt.
Right. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job nullifying Horton's attacks down here where he's not able to land anything super big other than the big slams.
Pressure of Horton, though.
Yeah, it's
just so much right now.
You know who it reminds me of? Another guy we have on this card tonight that also fights out of Next Generation is Ty Johnson. That's who it's reminding me.
Oh, my goodness.
Reminiscent of,
Fresh. And they're kind of sliding here towards us. You can see Horton was trying to set that triangle for a moment, but good job from Bustos to reset him. Finds himself in a rough spot here, though, the cage and these elbows.
Big
Only
right
35 seconds left here in the fight, and Zack Horton just dominating.
It can be so defeating when you feel like you're getting ready to get out from bottom and then you get drugged right back down.
Some big shots here right in front of us from Zack Horton. Short time left now.
Yeah, Zack's just playing bully wrestling right now.
Yeah. Right back to his feet.
Back up.
Bustos.
Body lock for Bustos. Reversal. Horton stepping around looking for the back, but gets taken down. Bustos finishing the round and the fight right on top. Big ground and pound.
Good finish for Bustos, but just too little, too late. Yeah, I mean, even for that round, I mean, so much dominance from Zack Horton through the whole part of that round. I mean, 30-27 to Zack Horton is what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they had a great game plan. Go in there, take him down. If he wants to trade, bang the overhand right, take him down, control.
Yeah, I like the just enough striking to make him throw a punch.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
just
then
enough.
right into that double leg. So fantastic fight there between those two guys. Zack Horton, I would be blown away, doesn't get the call in that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Bustos just not really able to get active, honestly. When he did get active there at the end, it was like, oh, hey, look what we're going here. But, last 10 seconds of the last round, hard to get some scores in.
I think, like I think both of y'all said, that big right hand early on, I think had more of effect than what we
Especially cold
thought.
like that.
Yeah.
You take a couple jabs, you take a couple, maybe it's 30 seconds in, you take that, maybe it's not a big deal. But that was the first touch he got in the fight.
Yeah.
Exactly, straight right down the pipe.
And Zack Horton came out and did the exact same thing the next two rounds, too.
Well, and I'll say this. I've gotten the privilege of watching a few of both of these guys fight, and Zack Horton fighting much more determined and coachable than I've seen him in the past. So very good call, and we'll take it in here to Chad for our official announcement.
Fight fans. All right, fight fans. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored 30-27 for your winner by way of unanimous decision, Crimson Zack Horton!
2-0 on the night, coming out hot here at PFC 45. A great victory there. And Zack Horton getting himself now to 2-4, moving closer to that winning record. Great to see. And great to see a guy, and let me say this, I love it when you see a guy with that, he had tough fights. Remember, these losses aren't just like him getting blown out. Tough fights, stays the course, keeps taking tough fights, and really made a big change, man. Looked very good in this bout tonight and really just dominated every aspect, except for maybe the last 10 seconds, and even there, in a good position.
I mean, I would have liked to see more of his striking.
Yeah, it was very
his striking
clean.
looked solid.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. Some slams. Gotta love the rampage attempt there at the end of each round. He said, I'm gonna go for it. Heck, we down here. All right, right, guys. So that is it for our early prelims. If you are checking us out on YouTube, make sure that you hit us up on Fubo TV or you get that PFC Peak Fighting app so you can watch everything and you can go back and watch all these fights.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
yours, baby. You can go back and study them.
Yep.
Catch us on Fubo or Peak Fighting app. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, guys.